Hello lads and lasses, it's Gizmo, and we're back with a brand new game called Techtonica. It actually came out in July of this year, and it's something that I've fallen in love with while playing. It's a different game than what I normally play, as this is a completely automated game. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it with a new game. I've already got a game going, but I kind of did some exploring to see if this is a game that I would enjoy, and it's something that I actually it became very enjoyable for me. It's a very fun game. It's got some amazing story behind it, while also keeping some automation and game playing processes in it. That kind of surprises me, to be honest. I've never seen an automation game that keeps a really, excuse me, that keeps a really good storyline. You know, I've played Dyson Sphere on my live stream, and I've played some Factorio. I've played some other, automation games, and they don't really have a storyline. Like the storyline is what you make of it. This one has an actual story that allows you to explore it. It's basically like a Factorio if you mixed it with a Subnautica. And it's an amazing game. It's absolutely wonderful. It is an alpha or pre-alpha. Let me see what the Steam store says. Early access. So, and let me go ahead and make sure that my video settings are max because I don't like that. Yeah, we're fine. Max, 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 max. Cool. So as you can see, it's a mining game. You are completely underground. We'll learn some more as we go along, but we're completely underground. Take all this space. You actually can't grab these chests. They just stay there. Whoa, my sensitivity is a little high. But mouse sensitivity, put it down a little bit. That's better. As you can see, excuse me, I sneezed. It's a voxel-based game as well. So it's combined a lot of different aspects of games that I kind of enjoy. You know, voxel-based automation, story. You can see.
Can you hear me? Your suit can't transmit a voice or ID signal, but my sensors are indicating you're out there. First things first, check in at that production terminal. I need a second set of eyes on how badly damaged it is.
So one thing you can do is you can actually mine into this area. So if you were to mine this way, you'd mine into that little area that you just saw. But what we're gonna do, River Rock, and you can actually grab all of these plants, which you're gonna need. So these big plants that look like they have, a bunch of stems and stuff, you're gonna want to grab these because they give you Kindlevine seeds, which are very, very useful in the coming times. Per terminal takes iron and copper. What we need to do.
Terminal is cooked. Mining drills were the only buildable tech I could recover. Try crafting a few with materials from some of the chests around here.
Alright, so that's another thing, is you'll find different chests. Like this isn't a chest, but it's something that you'll need. So just kind of like walking around, finding things. Like there's a bed back here. You know, apparently there was somebody who slept here. That's all part of the story. You can see that there's these, which are research cores. They'll come in handy later. You can go ahead and grab these chests. There's chests there, and then there's two chests right here. And these are pretty much the only chests for now. You'll definitely find more as the game progresses. When it comes to base building and stuff, that all pops up after you do certain things. So rotate with the R key, which is pretty standard for most games.
Task inbound. Mining drill. Must be built at an ore vein
All
and
right,
fueled with plant matter.
there we go. One thing you do want to do is space them out. So if you see, I've put two in between. You want to put two in between, and this is just for the automation process. I've already automated, or, gone through this game and done a little bit of it and automated some of the things. So you really want to make sure that you're getting that automation and really um, that you're setting up for it in the future. Because if you don't, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot later. I think that's close enough. Yeah, that should be. All right, and then this should be the last one right there. There we go. And I can do one more over there. That's all I want to do for copper. You know, I'm going to do 3 each right now, just to keep it even. You want to expand things in a major way pretty quickly. So, the whole point of this game is automation. It just has some story elements behind it, which I absolutely enjoy the story elements, you know. I think the creators of this game have done a wonderful job at making it interesting while keeping it an automation game. And then the research is added in through some of the story elements, actually. You have to complete the story in order to continue with the research. And I think that's another thing that's quite impressive as well, is I
If you need fuel to get those machines running, try harvesting a few plants.
that's what I'm doing.
They'll forgive you.
I really enjoy having research locked behind things. Like, it's great that you can automate things and then get more research, but having that story element just adds something a little bit extra that I think some automation games are just missing. Now, if we go into our inventory, you can see that we have 500 is the max, and we have, what, 5 machines? So if we can do 5 stacks of 500, I'd be perfectly happy. Inspect. You could just shift click in order to get that in there. Set over here. Alright, this will get us some iron and copper. So what we're going to do is, since we just need iron and copper, we don't really have the ability to automate it farther. We're just going to go ahead and grab from each one. As we just place them, we'll go back and grab. Oops, not what I meant to do. Also, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. Guys, enjoyed time with family.
Good work getting that ore plugged into the terminal, Groundbreaker. If you weren't on my crew, you should have been.
Alright, so now you can see that it unlocked this, which is a scanner, and it unlocked research cores. So we're going to go ahead and build all 8 of those,
For the
as
next
we
phase
can.
of repairs, you're gonna need a scanner. The tech for it unlocked automatically when you fix this thing. So, open up your crafting menu and build one.
And then you can scan these things,
Scanner.
which gives you, you can see tool belt 2,
Restore tech tree access.
suit speed 2, and you can scan all of these.
Module scanned. Additional tech tiers or cores may be required.
You can see there's smelter fragments.
Free to review.
You need 3 in order to get the full fragment. There we go. Now, if you already have a tech unlocked, it's actually going to give you things like iron ingots, iron components. It's going to give you the things that it's made out of. And it'll clear it out of the way. There we go. Okay. We go ahead and place down this last miner we have, and we're going to go ahead and place down these cores. Now, if you actually read about the core, it says enable activation of standard technologies, core cluster formed at 10 cores. So if we have a core, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to go ahead and place 5 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we want to place all of them, so we might as well just do. Alright, now if we go into T, tech research, you can see that we can, there's a cost here. So you can go into different things. You've got your mining drill, you've got your logistics, which is your long inserter, you've got a bunch of other things. Well, energy, science, construction, they all unlock later. And you can see that there are massive, you know, there's a lot of research, and there's a lot of research that's still just question marks. Here's what we're going to do. Come back down, go into synthesis, and grab our smelter. We have down here, this is your number of cores, 3 purple, 0 blue. This is the power as well.
Warning. Research cores required for activation of new technologies. Refer to tech tree for current core manifest. Research cores constructed. Smelter technology available for activation in tech tree. Technology activated. Proceed with construction of smelter.
Okay. Now you can see that I'm scanning things. When you scan plants, it just kind of gives you information about the plant. It doesn't actually give you anything, which is fine. You know, I don't need something every time. You can actually scan these lights and grab them. They are currently lighting up your area, so if you don't want to grab them, you don't have to. They're not doing a good job of lighting up the area, but they are lighting up the area. So Now we need iron ingots and copper ingots. One thing we want to do is think about the long term and how we're
You've
gonna
activated the smelter tech, but you still need to build one and place it.
think about the long term and how we're gonna set up our base in the future. We have a giant area. We're actually gonna be able to mine all of this voxel stuff. All of this is voxel, so I can mine every single piece. Mining with this thing isn't really worthwhile. You get a tool called the mole, I think is what it's called, pretty early on, so wait for that. But still think about how you're going to set everything up. Now, building along the river, you can do that, but there's technology in the future where it makes you build along the river for energy. So I would think about utilizing the giant space that you have at your disposal. Just make sure you're not blocking anything and that you're thinking about future progress. Alright, we've got the smelters. I'm going to do 3 iron and 3 copper smelters. That's how I'm going to set things up. So we also have to think about the fact that there's going to be, these have to be fueled in the future. So I can set these up like right here. 1, 2,
Smelter.
and
Produce ingots. Requires plant matter for fuel.
leave a 3, excuse me, leave a 3 break in between. Because you're going to have a inserter, a path, an inserter. Get both of those. Copper. Copper, we're actually going to do here. We are going to have some more mining drills over here. I will eventually dig out this area to create the copper area, but for now we don't have that ability, so we're just going to go ahead and place these guys over here just as a future kind of thing. Logistics, we don't have any, so if we go into logistics, oh, we don't have that. All right, so now we just need 20 iron ingots, 20 copper ingots. And the best way of doing that is just grab the ingot, or grab the ores out, put them into the what you need, and supply it with plant fuel, which we need to grab. You can take out half by pressing right click on it. Put in the iron ore, put in half. Iron ore, put in half, or put in all. Leave us two. Actually, yeah, take out half. Take out half. Because we're going to do the copper. And the 2 copper over here. Put in half, put in half. And the rest, put in the rest. There we go. And then we just need 20 iron and 20 copper ingots. Now, we will eventually automate it. We just don't have the ability to. We don't have the inserters. We don't have the belts. We don't have any of that stuff. So we just have to wait. Once this hits 10, we'll have both. Alright, 10. 10. Sorry about that noise. My phone disconnected and reconnected for some reason. Alright. Once we get 10 over here as well. And 10. Which gives us 20 each. Okay, fine. Sorry about that, guys. Folks, lads, and lasses. There we go. So now you can see, got the container, the inserter, and the conveyor belt. We can go ahead and set that up. Now, for each one of these, you need 2 separate inserters. So we've got 6, we need 12 inserters. That's going to be mechanical components, which is going to be raw materials. So the more that you build and automate, the more that you can build and automate. So it's, you know, an ever-expanding process. And that's how it is in every game. You can hide that by pressing Q. It just hides and shows it. Alright, so I made 4. That should be 12. So now you're going to set this up like this.
Inserter. Use inserters
There we
to
go.
transfer items between machines and conveyor belts.
This is going to be the insert or into. This is going to be the take bars out of. Same with over here. Insert ores into. Take ores out of. All right. All right. Now that's the base for our smelters. Now we need to grab the. We need to make more inserters for the actual miners, which is pretty simple. Again, it's just the quicker you automate, the quicker you can go. So I have what, 6? So 5, 6. If you right click, you get 5. If you left click, you get 1. And then if you shift click, you can you craft all. So, okay. Pull out. Pull out. Okay. There we go. And moving on to the next side. And then if you shift, you run. Boom. Boom. And one more. There we go. All right. Now everything's ready to be automated. We just have to get the actual transport belts. They're going to help with that process. The cool thing about this game is that if you actually click R, you can, it'll automatically bend the track for you. You can see if I press R, right, it'll bend it. You can't go straight. You have to press R again, or you press Q to back it out, and there you go. So we're gonna go ahead and do it like this. Yeah, out of resources, that's fine. Right. Place, place. More iron. And now we're almost getting to the point where we can not worry about this, and it's pretty much mostly automated, which is what we want. That's kind of the point of the game, to be honest. Alright, and then place it, and place it. There we go. Build some more belts. And we'll be back when that's done. Okay, I went ahead and set the automation process. I actually changed this up because it allowed me to save instead of looping back around like this. I can literally just go like this. One of the cool things is that the conveyor belt, if you have more than one, it actually turns itself into a box, basically. In other games, that's a technology research that you have to actually research. In this game, it's just something that's given to you, which is super nice that it's just given to you, and it's just a part of the actual conveyor belt itself. It saves a lot of hassle, saves a lot of time and research and annoyance that you usually go through with trying to find that technology and then build that technology, and it's a great addition to not have to research that. We're going to grab some more plants because we do need some more stuff. Now, one thing you can do, where is it? Where is it? Here. Okay. So if you come in here, right, this little area right here, there's stuff up there, but you come in here and you turn left. There's this wall that has like there's a square there. So if you mine here, it would be faster with the actual mining apparatus that we get later. But if you mine here, there is a giant pathway. So again, if you wait for the mining thing that you get, it's called the mole, I'm pretty sure. You'll find this a lot quicker. Alright, follow the pathway up to here, and what you'll find is this area. This is actually the starting area of where you were, as you can see. Starting area. And as you can see, another thing that happened is some of the stuff fell. You know, rocks fell on it, all that good stuff. So it's broken. So you can actually get some of the resources back. And what's really cool is if you look inside of these, you can find biobricks. Now, biobricks are fuel for all of your construction things. So you can grab all these biobricks, or what you could do is set up a pathway to your base with these biobricks. It really depends on how you want to do it. Now we're going to go ahead and just grab everything. We're going to use all these biobricks. There we go. Alright. I think I scanned everything that I could. Yeah. Alright. Now you can't reclaim those. Anything that's placed in the game, you are not able to reclaim. Which is a bit frustrating. So if it's not destroyed, you can't claim it. Which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is, so I'm not too worried about it. As you can see, this biofuel goes down pretty slowly compared to this, which goes down pretty darn quickly. So, biofuel is a good find in the beginning to help you out just a little. Alright. Now, this whole part is just going to be about building your pathways, creating some storage areas. Yeah, 63. Just legit automating. Completely just automating everything. So, down. 55's fine. Right. So now that we have this set up, we can bring this out. There we go. And we can bring this down as well. And we can actually... F is deconstruct mode, so if you press F, it'll put you into erase mode, or deconstruct. You can get rid of things. Now what we're looking for is 2 containers, 4 inserters, a bunch of ingots, and conveyor belts, which we can already do. But what I want to do is make sure that we're up, automated, and expanding as quickly and as much as possible. So we're going to stick with this for now. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and grab... These need to come together at some point. Like so. And then what we need to do is get a... container to store them in.
Your machines can only hold so much at a time before their inventories fill up and they stop working. Try building a storage container and connecting it to the rest of your operation.
Yes, I know. That's what I am trying to do. Storage container, inserter. A mechanical component. What do I not have? Oh, iron. Probably because most of my iron's right here. I had to guess. Alright. Where's the... Did I not build one? Oh, Oh, I definitely did build one. That's weird. Okay. We'll do the same thing over here. Now, again, I'm waiting for this area. Until I actually get that tool for me to expand. So I'm not going to worry about the copper too. I'm still just crafting. Okay. Tons and tons of conveyor belts, because you need tons and tons of them. I'm going to turn this area probably into our main base for now, until we get to expanding and we get to be able to automate quicker. One more, and container, come on. There we go. And container. Alright. Containers are pretty simple. You have a container, you have an inserter. Inserter inserts the stuff into your container. Or you can guess. It does so at a pretty slow rate because it's a pretty slow inserter. So what you can do is you can actually wrap this around like so. Boom. And just set up more inserters for it. There we go. So now we've got a storage container for all of our iron. It's going to be super useful because we're going to need a lot of it. We're going to need a lot of everything, really. Another thing you can do is craft more smelters, which we don't have the ability to fuel all of them as quickly as we'd like, but it gives you the ability to work with them in the process or in the future. Not worried about it. Just make it even. There we go. All right. Then we can make some more inserters. We'll do 5. Still missing our iron. So now this. Yep. We're just gonna set up. Get everything ready to go. And yeah, these don't have fuel. We can remedy that. All right. There we go. All right, there we go. Now that's gonna be a lot of iron that we're getting, which is awesome. All right. So how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Perfect. Works out pretty nicely. Do. Oops. Cool. Cool. Now, as you can imagine, we're going to be making more than what we can store. Yeah, these guys are full. If you see this yellow on it, it means that it's full and it can't hold anymore. So you can see it doesn't do anymore. It's just full. Oh no, never mind. Just kidding. What's wrong with it? Yeah, it doesn't have any input. So I'm not mining enough. Like our mining machines just don't have it. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do the 2 containers, 4 inserters, 45 conveyor belts. So we have most of what we need. We just have to make the containers, the conveyor belts, or the inserters, and we'd be good to go. Now, upgrading this terminal just gives you access to more technologies and stuff like that. And eventually this terminal, well, you'll see.
Beacons are back online. Inspect the radio console right next to the screen. It'll start beeping and blinking in 3, 2, 1.
As you can see, it says fully upgraded, which means we can't upgrade it anymore.
Signal triangulated. New
stuck in this entire time. I've set an unlock code to the door. I've got some tech you're gonna like. And I know you wouldn't dream of leaving without me anyways. Sending that signal was more complicated than you think. I don't know why, but these computers feel like second nature now. Sort of the opposite of what I remember it being like. I'd be the one to get you out of a situation like this, instead of the other way around. But I'm not giving up. That's how I know it's still me in here. You'll see.
Yeah, so if you jump down where I did, I did it kind of quickly, but if you jump down where I did, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff down here that you can grab. So that, then if you jump up over here, more stuff over here.
These construction pieces, they're made from a special kind of building material. I can't remember where they came from, but I feel like we'll find more eventually.
Yep, here it is. Nope. Yeah, that's it. So it's those 3 containers. You have to jump up and over in order to grab some of it. Yeah, jump up here, and then you just continue on with your life. Should be containers in here, I think. There's like 1 or 2. Perfectly. No? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, because you fast inserters and advanced circuits. You can grab that. And all right. And you can see there's a dead person. And then there's this cube.
What? You've never seen someone stuck inside an alien cube next to their own dead body before? Whatever I was trying to do here, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it didn't work out. Hopefully, it was worth a shot. Let's go.
Hello, Sparks. My little cube. I wish you could place Sparks down.
Stop. Scan the fragment in that cage by the stairs before we go. We'll need that tech to get out of the sector.
There it is, the mole. So now we have the mole tech available to us. And some more cores. Awesome. Alright, so that is everything in here. Merp. We got stuck. Sweet. That's everything. There's nothing else left. No technology, nothing, no research. And you can still
Local signal deciphered.
scan
Sending
these.
orders.
So.
Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
Sounds like the terminal is fully rebooted. Check the radio console again and see if the beacon it adds to your HUD gives us a clear path home.
Sure.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Production terminal Victor.
Breaker, this is the time to activate the mole in your tech tree and build one. We won't be able to cut through to Sector Victor without it.
Okay. So tech tree. Got the long inserter, the filter inserter, with good things. Synthesis. We've got decomposition, planter, thresher, kindle, leaven, threshing, stem threshing, plant matter frames. So this is this guy, the planter and the thresher, are going to be things that you really, really need to get and pretty quickly too. As you can see, we've got a crank generator, and in science, we've got mass collect and mass deconstruct. Now, what we're looking for is the mole. This guy right here.
Task inbound. Mole. Manipulates terrain for traversal and composition of industrial construction sites.
So now with this guy, you can see this giant square. Now, what this giant square allows you to do,
Bulletin. This mole is not authorized to
look at
destroy
that.
resources, critical infrastructure, or protected environmental areas.
The giant mining thing. This is why I said don't mine by hand, because there's no point. You end up getting this pretty early on, and then you can just mine things out. So now that allows us to go ahead and mess with our copper area. We're gonna go ahead and set up the copper area. you can just mass destroy terrain. Now, the heat thing that you see, you can actually overheat it, and when it overheats, it doesn't do anything big. It just kind of... Let's see. There you guys something. When it overheats, it doesn't do anything special. I just cleared out the grass with that. So if you come up here to a flat surface and you don't look down too much, you can just kind of do this, and it'll clear out some of the grass for you. And you don't have to be worried about destroying any of your stuff. It won't break anything. It won't destroy anything. It's pretty good about that. So yeah, overheated, you can't use it. You can still make the ball, and you can still place it, but in the time that's overheated, you're just kind of locked in. Alright. As you can see, it clears out the grass, which is only semi-useful. It's not useful, it just allows you to see everything. So, I'm not worried about it. Now, when you mine, you get a bunch of limestone. One thing I would recommend doing is creating just a chest very early on that just gets filled with limestone. Because you are not going to need that. So. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we got more cores, more research cores. So we're going to go and place them down. We don't really need them right now, but they are still useful, and you can see in the research. Still get some of it. Now, when you see this little thing, it means that you need to scan pieces of it in order to actually unlock it. So, crank generator is useful, but not for now, really. There's a lot of stuff that you have to get in order to make the crank generator actually useful. It's really annoying. You have to hand crank it every 5 minutes, which it gets a bit annoying because you have to do it to each and every single one of them. You can get more than one. We'll see it in the future. Probably another episode. I probably won't get to it this episode. Just because I tend to keep my episodes an hour long.
I appreciate it. At the time, it seemed like the best thing to do was focus on work, not get caught up in thinking about anything else. I've tried to stay sharp for both of us, but now that we're almost back to the main line, I'll admit, it was terrifying. It'll be good to see some friendly faces, and a few thousand twinkling lights. I'm sure you've got people there too.
Yeah, she thinks we're about to come up on a giant city. Following the river is probably your best bet. You can mine a straight path through if you want to, but
I don't understand. A factory the size of a city is supposed to be here. It was right here. I know it was. Where is everybody?
yeah, so she says a factory the size of a city should be here. And there's just nothing. The only thing that's left.
This terminal is trying to reach out to 100 facilities that might not exist anymore. If we can repair it, we might be able to decipher where those facilities are located. Our people are out there, just like we were. I wouldn't ask you to rebuild this sector for the expedition, but I will ask you to do it for them. The faster we get on these signal and repair objectives, the better our chances of finding them will be. Right now, you should either get started on a local mining operation to make ingots, or start looking into how to make those Kindle vine stems. If you check the chest near Victor, you might find enough power floors to decipher the first signal. We definitely need new types of machines to make the goods this terminal's looking for, and those signals seem like our best shot at finding them.
Now you can also use this to get rid of plants and stuff. So like you can this to get rid of these giant things. It gives you plant matter and gravel. So, Alright, as you can see, we need 490 iron ingots, 490 copper ingots, 90 kindle vine stems. Now, the issue with this is, so we can manage chests. The issue with this is you actually can't do kindle vine stems right now, because you need that thresher that I was talking about. And we just don't have access to that thresher. So what we need to do, ooh, I can scan that. Gather that, but I can scan that. So what we actually need to do is search for a way to make these Kindlevine stems. Now, the way we do that is, like she said, deciphering some of these signals. If you want to go up higher, you can go up higher. There's nothing up here, per se. Just more stuff. You can see your research up there. And then if you come up and around, there is more light sticks that you can grab. Then there's this guy.
These were training and information terminals, Breaker. Scan them and then open up your databank to take a closer look at anything that hasn't been scrambled or lost.
That would be databank. You can see there's a bunch of stuff in here. You can see there's a percentage, like 25, 36, 12%. So it's just how much you know about certain things. Okay. Now, one thing we need to do is start setting up a way to provide these guys with fuel. If we set up a secondary hatch, like so, right along, oops, right along, you, right alongside this one, I messed up. The fact that I ran into this pole. We can just go around it. There we go. Alright. If we set up that guy, and then we set up, go ahead and line this up. There we go. Okay. Now, if I set up an area like so, there we go. Like this, and then I place a container here. Then I place down these and place these down. What I can actually do now is just fill all of this with plant matter. And that sets us up for success in the future. Let's see why that is. Or, there we go. So now if I set it down like this, what'll happen is it'll go to each of these machines. But what we need now is some long inserters. Now you can press Control 1 and Control 2. There's two different bars, and pressing Control 1 and Control 2 grab it. So grab a long inserter. Long inserters and normal inserters do not take electricity or anything else. So it's really good for that early game stuff. Now, once you get to different kinds of inserters, it actually takes electricity, which is when those generators come in handy. Now these guys, as you can see, they grab things, they grab the energy that you need, they grab all of this. Now, what you need in order to get these up and running is a separate path. So there's a reason that I said to keep it one wide, the way that I did. So if we do this, like so, and another one that goes right here, up and over. Okay. Yeah, this is an issue. I think that's not what I want. Oh, know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So I messed this one up. Hold on. Yeah. This needs to go like that, and then this goes like this. There's certain things that you can and can't do with belts. There we go. You just have to kind of learn the eccentricities of the belts. Like, you can't have two of these things placed next to each other if you're trying to have an area like this. You have to place them one apart from each other. Then you can actually build levels like so. Alright, now what we're going to do is take regular inserters. Not long inserters. Nope. 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 Cancel crafting. Regular inserters. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. So now you can see we've got this entire area completely automated in the sense that these now get fuel and they will eventually get iron ore. Now we can see that our fuel is all set up. That's why we said to keep them one wide, or one apart. So now what we need to do is set up a bigger area for more iron. Now the cool thing about this is these veins, even though you can only mine the surface of them, they don't go away. They're a hard set piece of grain that you can't mine, that doesn't go away, so it's completely reusable. What you can do is actually mine around it. Mine out the entire area around these veins. Over here. You can set up 4 of these miners all around it. As you can see, I mined all the way around this thing. So all on the ground floor right here, all completely mined out. And what we can do is take some more miners, like so. Like so. We do one there. I'm going to mine out some more just to give us enough of an area to walk around and to build around. As you can see, we've mined into another area. And that's just the connection to this area right here. Mine through that wall. Not a big deal. It's better to have more space. I'm not too worried about it. From what I can tell, there's not structural stability. Like, the roof doesn't collapse on you if it's overhanging. Again, I haven't noticed it. I haven't gotten super far in this game. I played it just a little to see if it'd be something that I was interested in. Did the like 2 hours that Steam allows before you can return a game. Found that I enjoyed the game. And it's like, alright, cool. I'll keep playing this game. You want to go, when dealing with plant matter, you actually want it to be on a track that's 1 away. Or actually, you want it to be 2 away, sorry. So this is not big enough. And the reason for that is just so you can do that weird over hump thing that I did to get it working. I'll show you. So over hump thing, this little thing, has to be at least 2 away. So if you take plant matter, you have to have it. So when you're thinking about it, this is your inserter. So you're going to have an inserter here. You're going to have a track here. So in order to go over the track, you need to have a space and then another track. So like so. Again, inserter, track, space, track. So we'll just build that for now. And I am going to build out the entirety of this just to get us to a point. So if we look at this, we're going to have a miner that takes up, what, 3 spaces or 2 spaces? Like 2 spaces, basically. So boom. Inserter, track, space, track. Should be right here. There we go. Then that's this track. I don't think I can set up a miner. No, I can't. So now another thing is, since we have gone all the way around, we can actually hook this back up to our original track. This makes it super easy so that we always have a continuous path out of here with plant matter. And it'll just continuously resupply itself. It's awesome. Now, come back over here. And what we're going to do is actually set up the track that the iron is going to go on. And the reason we're going to do that now is so that we can do the over hump. Oh, not what I wanted. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, that's plant matter. There should be. Oh, right. We're setting up the track. Dirk, 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 dirk. Oh, not what I wanted. Q. Boom. So that iron ore goes to there. And do I want it going the other way? Let's see. Iron ore to there. Iron ore. Oh, I can, actually. So what we're going to do with these other ones is we're actually going to have... This is going to make it easier. These guys... Space... Path... We'll go to... Right here. Boom. Creates a box. Okay. Now we can start setting up all of the... energy paths. Yep. And last but not least, you. Okay, now we need a bunch of inserters in order to make all of this work. The good news is we don't need long inserters either. Because of the way that we have everything set up, good to go. This will be pretty easy for us to, we pretty much automated this entire process now. And we're going to have just a ton of iron ore. So we're going to be making just so much. One thing we have here is that this is technically on a separate track. So what we can do is just go like this. And I think that should be good. Let's see. Does that just... Oh, that only puts it right there. Okay. Yeah, so that's another thing, is you can't have 2 of these next to each other, which is a little annoying. I wish they would change that. For me, that's one of my biggest issues. Like, in this early game, that's my biggest issue. Oh, you're facing the wrong way. Yeah, you were facing the wrong way. Okay. That's my biggest issue with this game so far, is that you can't have 2 of these boxes put next to each other. It probably has something to do with the logistics of it. It just doesn't understand the logistics, or it's too hard of a logistics issue to deal with right now. Now you can see we've got more of our smelters. We set these up. Phone is acting stupid. We set these up in the very beginning. So we set this up in the very beginning, and you can see if you hover over it in the bottom left, you get the information about it. So we get 30 iron ore a minute. We output 15 iron bars a minute. Fuel is, we use 2 a minute. So we take in 30 iron ore a minute. Now we can look at this guy. We get 25 iron ore a minute. And technically, it's actually not being grabbed quick enough. You should have, or to be the most efficient, you need to have 2 inserters for every one. Because you're going to be backed up if you don't. 2 inserters outdoes this. So you can see 25 a minute, 25 a minute. But this can only grab 20 items a minute. So you're still going to have the 5 items a minute that aren't being grabbed, which is why you need to set up that. So now all of our iron is completely automated. You can see we probably have a ton of it packed away. Yep, just so much. All right, now the next part is going to be completely automating a copper area. Now, the one thing that I did with this that is going to be really helpful is because we have all this biomass that's left over, and we can even take the biomass that's left over from here, run it into a singular track. So it'll supply the iron first, and then it'll run it over here, and it'll supply the copper second. Which, sure, we're supplying the copper second, so it's going to take whatever is left over from here. So if this uses everything, then we're not going to have any for the copper. But eventually we'll have its own copper, or its own plant supply for the copper. So I'm not too worried about it. In order to do this, we need some more tracks. So we're going to build a couple more, build a couple inserters, build a couple long inserters, and we should be good to go. All right. The first comes, grab some utility things. We need to grab, yeah, we're going to move these over. And the reason for that is because we have this area right here. That area is going to, we're eventually going to mine it out the same way we did with the iron and build, what are they called? What are they actually called? A mining drill across the entirety of it. We're actually going to take the mining drill up to different stages as well, eventually, but not right now. All right, here. Now we can see that there's going to be smelters or mining drills that come out here. So we can actually mine this out just a bit. So we can see the extent of where we go. This goes pretty deep. Overheated. All right. So now we can see that this is going to be pretty big. So if we do the process of what we did last time, of where it's going to be, okay, drill 1, 2, inserter, path. So we're going to have a path here that lines up to here, and that's going to be our copper ore supply. So then we take the smelters that we have, these 3 guys, place them 1, 2, and 3. All right, so then from here, this is where we can start supplying all of the other stuff. This is going to be the plant matter. So we can grab like this, up and over, plant matter. So inserter, path, plant matter. All right.
Your stuff has places to go and machines to meet, Breaker. Keep building those conveyor belts.
Yeah, so when dealing with these, the path is only going to be right next to the other path. But when dealing with mining drills, you need to leave that space. So, all right, now you guys. Okay, so grab from here, grab from here, grab from here. Can I make another smelter? I can indeed. That there. Oh, we're still making 47 more. Okay. Roll 2 to grab the long inserter. The long inserter will grab from there, and grab from there. Okay. Now, oh, well, that's really wrong. Roll 1. Pull from there, pull from there, there. You could be here. There we go. Now that should be the copper that we need. Yep. Alright, so now we're getting our copper automated for the most part. You can see there's going to be some, like an area where we just can't build there because there's water in the way. We're actually going to take care of that. I'm going to build over top of the water. Because I actually have an idea as to where I want to put my energy area anyways. So not too worried about it. Alright, that's the plant matter. Alright, so that's moving. Cool. So those floors that we had gotten, these power floors, what we're going to do is actually build over top of this water area.
Task
Like
input.
so.
Power floor. Build to establish structural foundation and conduct electricity from crank generators.
Yep. Oops. More of it.
Local signal deciphered. Ingress RH1979. Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
Alright, so as you can see, we just built the floor. Now, we can expand our production area for copper. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And then... Wait, I did this wrong. Hold on. I did this wrong. You, go away. You. I had it right in the first place. I confused myself. Okay. Boom. And then this needs to be out. Okay. Ooh. Huh. Now I'm getting rid of that guy. Because it would have been... I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to. So. Alright. Long inserter, boom. Okay. This needs to be a out. This needs to be an out. Out. I started building without thinking. So this is... Oh, I need... That's an out. Out. This is an out. Oh. In. Out. That's an in. That's an in. That's an in. That's an in. Okay. There we go. Build some more of these. Alright. Okay. There we go. Now we're getting bars, not... Come on. You. Alright. And a box. And you round inserters. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm not worried about the copper ore that's going in there because it's going to go in there and we can just filter it out anyways, so it's not a big deal. Alright, but as you can see, we have automated this entire area. Now our copper is automated and fueling itself. Our iron is automated and fueling itself. Now, what we can do is just build as many smelters as we want. So we can build a ton of smelters, we can build a ton of inserters. We've got that entire process automated. We're getting a ton of just copper and everything else. Now you can see that we need 490 iron ingots, 490 copper ingots. The one thing I will say is that you will also need about, after this one, 2,000 iron ingots and 2,000 copper ingots. So one thing I am going to recommend is that we actually take our copper and our iron output and output it directly into that base for the simple fact that it's just going to make things a lot easier. We don't have to sit and wait around for everything else. So, all right. We're building smelters. So we're going to go ahead and expand this area for now. So leave a space and then grab and place, 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 space, grab and place. Nope. Yeah, so I can do you. Okay. And you. You. Then I see it. Okay, this can be canceled. Can't cancel it. Okay. Give me some more of these. Okay, give me my long inserters. Go ahead and grab there. Grab from there. Grab from there. Alright, and then boom, boom, boom.
Can you do me a favor? Check the radio at that giant exclamation point on your HUD. You might not be close enough to hear it beeping, but I can hear it. I hear it everywhere. At full blast.
Yeah, so it takes 2. But technically, to be super efficient, you would need 2 per. This isn't getting any fuel. Oh, am I out of? How am I out of fuel? Am I like out of fuel, or is it just not getting there as quickly as possible? Oh, because this fuel burns pretty quickly. Okay. Yeah, she's talking about this bong. You can hear this bong, apparently.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD.
Yeah.
Exceptional dimensions.
Alright. So then we have to crafting and placing an unknown number of crank generators. So we're going to explore that next time. I'm actually going to call it here. We got pretty far today, actually. We managed to completely automate our iron. We managed to completely automate our copper. We're sitting at a good spot where we have a ton of iron. You know, you can see we've got almost 1,000 in there. We have what? Probably almost 1,000, if not 500 in here. 15, not bad. But we've got a good amount of inventory. You know, we're in a good area. We're gonna sum some stuff up. Hopefully in the next one, we'll find some more stuff. I mean, we will find some more stuff, but do some more exploring, decode some more messages, all that good stuff. But anyways, folks, as always, I hope you have a wonderful time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!